Hello, Professor Bright here, and welcome back to Kaiju-A-Go-Go. It has been some time, my friends, since last we visited this game. And oh, so many things have changed. For one thing, I finally learned how to use Shrubby properly, rather than just sticking with Tier 1 and Tier 2 and Tier 3 abilities. We've moved up to Tier 4 and 5, and things are much, much better. Unfortunately, I did that just as I was conquering the second-to-last city. So, we'll have a discussion about that shortly, don't you worry. And you might be noting, oh, well, a lot. Wow, you just skipped a bunch of episodes, didn't you? No. You see, the thing is, most of the conquest for the rest of these cities has been through diplomatic means, and involved no mind control satellites. I don't know who suggested that I might have some mind control satellites. Oh, speaking of, we really need to start building more, yes. I mean, sorry, wasn't paying attention there. Nothing to see there. So, with this, our last city, and our last episode with Shrubby, I figured I would take an entire city with no damage on it in one go. Let's see how that works out. And for that last city, of course, I've chosen Tokyo, because it is the place where kaiju movies originated from. Well, it's the most famous one anyway. Still remember watching Godzilla for the first time. Oh god, how young was I? Anyway. Let's have ourselves a bit of a talk, shall we? Alright, so now that we're in Tokyo, pardon the lag, it's a bit of a big city, you see. Now, I'm going to show off some of the new abilities we've gotten while using one of the older ones to keep us safe while I do that. Most importantly, we have Hydra, which just shoots out three little I want to say tendrils? Not sure. Not sure the proper terminology there. But either way, it destroys anything that's in the air pretty quickly. Next ability of note is the Seedling Cloud. Spawns a bunch of seedlings, and they just go to town on the city. Got a bunch of passive upgrades that make them more damaging to buildings, and just generally better. Now, the other ability we have is the Underminer. It's basically just an upgrade of our previous underground killing ability. There we go. Look at that, it is wonderful. Just gorgeous. The Underminer. For when anything needs to die. And there's Hydra, just taking out all those planes, and it is just wonderful. Now, I really would be expecting to see a bunch of their little anti-kaiju weapons coming over here. Not sure why I'm not seeing that. It has me a little worried. Seriously, the Ultrason, the Ultimate Behemoth, I'd expect a few of them to have shown up by now. Also, just a note, this is the last free city on Earth. Where are the reinforcements coming from? I don't know. Anyway, I am actually sincerely worried, because, I mean, if I have to deal with all three of them at once, that's going to be a bit of a problem. I mean, one at a time, sure, I can take them out, but three of them at once? Ooh. Oh, there's one of them. Anything around you? Oh, yeah, you got the, big guy right near you. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to the side. Go over this way to try to lure the Ultrason over this way. Through most of these, you know, industrial areas. Unfortunate for him, but not so much a problem for me. And if I'm lucky, I can just take one out at a time. Just take one on at a time. Yeah, the Ultra Behemoth took no damage from that. Upsetting, but not surprising. Now, let's see here. Spawn a Seedling Cloud there. Let's knock out the planes real quick. And if I bring this Ultrason over here, not quite close enough. There we go. Okay. Oh, jumping. Hate when they do that. Causes all sorts of trouble. Fortunately for me, though, I can just bite him, and that should take out a bunch of his health. And he's down. Okay. So I can call this a win no matter what. Now, it'd be really useful if I could kill a bunch of these little planes real quick. Come on, get over here. Need to wait for Hydra to regenerate. There's a helicarrier coming. Oh dear. Now, as long as the behemoth stays down there, we should be fine. Good thing about the helicarriers is that they are not that tough. They're actually relatively weak. But I don't want to have to deal with one of those and have the fun of a behemoth to deal with as well. Good to note it's still getting damaged by the brambles that are on the ground, though. Don't know how that works, but hey, I'll take it. And sway real quick to dodge some of this damage. Oh no, you aren't getting out of this. There we go. Okay, now I just need time to regenerate. Okay, and then we can take on all this other fun. Oh, Fang Strike to get rid of that. Now, where's that behemoth? Oh, it's gotten onto the island. Ooh, that's not good. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, get rid of that. Okay, I need to get moving. If I'm very lucky, I can just lose him in this mess. If I am extraordinarily lucky. He's got a bit of a support army. Also, he's stuck there, so that makes things a lot easier. Let's let loose a bunch of our seedlings, take out this city block. Rising Sun for a little bit of regeneration. And, oh, that is just the best. We're going to try to take out Tokyo Tower. It's in the way, you know. Plus, what broadcasts do they need besides the delightful satellite broadcasts I provide? You know, the non-mind control ones. I don't know why people suggest I would mind control people. That seems terribly unethical. And I'm just not that sort of person, you know. Well. These are very nice apartments. I like how they have a little field nearby. I should probably preserve those ones. Ooh, looks like that might not be happening today. Oh well. Yeah, no. We'll have none of that silliness over here. No bombers. No, you know, trying to defend yourself. Well, you can try to defend yourself all you like. Not going to succeed, because, you know, giant plant monster. But still. Also, is that behemoth still there? He's starting to figure out. Yeah, not okay with that. All right, so I wonder very much. Might be better to go and engage it. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I am uncertain about this. Very much so. I mean, you figure I'm as tough as I'm gonna get, so why not go for it? Although I suppose I could just keep pecking at it for a long, long time. That probably is a viable tactic. Just keep pecking at it with the Underminer. Oh, and it occurs to me I didn't introduce our other two major abilities. The Rising Sun, which lets us heal for a little bit. And the Shredder, which is just a bite. You saw me use it on the Ultrasun a little while ago. And a little more Seedling Cloud. Yeah, there we go. Doesn't everything look just a little bit better? A little greener? Isn't this much, much better for the environment? I think it is. Well, I mean, you could argue that all the toxins we're releasing by destroying all these buildings is probably devastating to the local you know, ecology. But, I choose not to believe that. Because it's convenient. Anyhow, let's get a little more damage into this guy before we go and engage. Alright. Let's sway, just as a way to dodge some of the bullets. Oh. Wow, there's a lot of you. Let's take out a bunch of you. Okay, now let's chase this guy down. Rising Sun to get a bit more health. And let's take out the behemoth. Yeah, you're doing a lot of damage. Great. Shoot. I really need to get rid of the building so I can actually damage the behemoth. Come on. Do more damage to him than he is doing to you. How tough could that possibly be? And come on, I just need to go a little bit faster. A little bit faster would be great. Things are not looking good. Okay, I can get Rising Sun up again. And down goes the behemoth. Okay, I just need to get out of this situation. And we will do that by going over there. There. Good thing is, the more damage I do, the more I regenerate. The more food I gain, the more I regenerate. It's just a vicious cycle. And a thing of beauty, I would say. Which really is quite the thing, because you'll remember back when I was using the little cheap Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 abilities, I could not handle any of this. You know, there would be just no way I could deal with anything that's happening right now. In fact, I might not be able to deal with what's happening right now as well. Let's just do another Underminer to get some health back that way. Yeah. Gonna have to move across the bridge really quickly, because I'd really rather not die just yet. Oh, you have got to die. We will have none of that. Okay, now we're in a better place. They're still getting more reinforcements. I would love to know where these reinforcements are coming from. Oh, dear me. Allow me to interrupt. So, I know I claimed I was going to take out Tokyo in one all-out attack, and I'd say we did a pretty good job, wouldn't you? 3 enemy kaiju down and who knows how many miscellaneous units. Well, this attack lasts about 30 to 40 minutes, and it ultimately fails. So, speeding things along, it was a good round, trying to be a bit too flashy though in hindsight. I mean, attacking that last surviving city and crushing its spirit sounds good and all, but the best tactics are the ones that win, and this tactic did not win at all. Suppose we critique the game now while we let Tokyo burn in the background. On the positive side, it hits the theme perfectly. Mad science, giant monsters, massive property damage, and eventually global domination. It's also pretty damn satisfying to crush a city with your kaiju, and it is thoroughly your kaiju, or with the builds you develop from the skills you research. It's also got a satisfying gameplay loop. I am crushing the city, so I can get the resources I need to train my kaiju to become better at crushing cities. The place where it falls apart is once you start attacking the Tier 5 cities. For some reason, almost all of them, you'll notice Tokyo is an exception, have nuclear subs called boomers, which can take off half your health with a single missile. And because you usually start off in the ocean, you're typically surrounded by and immediately fired upon by these subs. There are quite a few raids where I was immediately squashed by nukes that I could do nothing about. Couldn't even fire off an ability. This is not fun. I get that you want to keep players from using their Tier 1 baby kaiju to take on New York, but having such a massive barrier to entry, and worse, not having an effective way of removing that barrier, is not a good choice. If there were a way to attack the Kaiju Defense Force directly, if there were a way to make it so they couldn't spawn more of their subs, or remove the nukes from those subs, I'd be fine with them being there. But because there's nothing you can do to effectively counter them, it feels cheap, It feels like I'm losing because I just spawned too close to the enemy, not because I took an unnecessary risk. Other than that glaring issue, I also found that some of the abilities don't seem to do what their description implies. I tried a move called Vine Sweeper, I believe it was. Claims it attacks everything in front of Shrubby. When I tried to use it, 2 little tendrils rose up from the ground and immediately fell back down. I feel like I must have made a mistake in using it, and hell, maybe they've fixed it in a patch. But it would be nice if there were some way of testing abilities before you invest resources in actually researching them. Just a little test mode that lets you use an ability before you research it, or hell, why not a short little video of Shrubby using that ability? It's a minor complaint, in fact just reserved for one ability, but I'm always in favor of minor quality of life improvements in games. Now, I think we've let Tokyo burn long enough. Let me bring you guys forward to where I am. And here we are. Final moves. I mean, it's the winning move. And in any strategy game, like I said, you make the winning move. Not necessarily the most fancy thing, but another mind control satellite turned on. And here we are. And now, we demand the surrender of Tokyo. And there we go. Last city conquered. The last free city on Earth now belongs to us. I'll bet they sent a very suitable bribe. And that's it. I get a splash screen with statistics. Honestly, I'm not that surprised. I've noticed that at the end of most of these... most of the long games tend to have very disappointing endings. Like in a... The Civ Beyond Earth, you just get a splash screen with a bit of text. It's not very impressive. Similarly, I played EU4, Europa Universalis 4, and it just gives you a little screen. It doesn't even give you something as impressive as this. I'm a bit disappointed. They could have done like that newspaper roll that they did at the beginning of the game, and just had something about how she takes over the world, what she does as ruler of the world. But no, just a splash screen. Still, not gonna let that poison me against the game. It was a good ride. I enjoyed this little game. I have spent more money on much worse games. Well, as always, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I'll see you all soon.